Comic fam, gotta stay tuned to the end of the video. We have a signed and original sketch by Eric Powell that you can win. It's a scorcher this week, and this list is contagious.
I know, Tom, it's really, really crazy. I'm actually kind of feeling a burning sensation because this is infectious. This list is insane right now.
Fevers are on this list. Diseases. STDs are on this list. I mean, we got to jump into it because the virus is about to spread, but Comic fam, you got to hit the subscribe button. We make this video every single week. We talk about the most trending comic books in the comic book community, courtesy of who?
Key Collector, the best app out there, available for Android and iPhone.
Use that code TOM101 to unlock a free 1-week subscription. And let's jump right into this list at number 10 with Negan Lives issue number 1. The fever foil is real.
It really is. Now, we had speculation a little bit over a week ago that when this came out, that Robert Kirkman went on his Twitter account and started showing a book that didn't exist.
But it does. And it was released at San Diego Comic-Con this week. You're watching it right now. It's actively happening. So go check out SDCC over on YouTube so you can experience the panels. However, I want to give a big shout out to Sean Kirkham, who is a Skybound representative and the senior VP, and he's the one who you had to follow to find out if you got this book. And it's actually kind of funny on Twitter. Did you see this? He was posting about traveling to the Skybound convention, and in the process of doing tweets, he got like something in his eye, like for real. And over the course of the tweets, it was getting like progressively worse. And all these new followers, courtesy of Robert Kirkman and this like foil variant hype, they started asking like, dude, what's up with your eye? And he like played right into it.
Just got done with a doctor. They did say that I've got something that's highly contagious and actually spreads over social media. It is called foil fever.
Now, I'm a little skeptical whether it was some makeup people from AMC helping him out or whether it was actually pink eye, but regardless, this is being referred to as the rarest Walking Dead book right now. We are seeing sales $1,400 to $1,500 for high sales on this book, and it is scorching hot. You might get foil fever.
Now, you see shots of him in his car, and he has raw copies on his seat. I believe that of this 500, there's going to be a lot of them that are already VF going out. And all that you had to do was follow him, and then he reached out to you and told you, hey, you were infected. Give me your address, and I'm sending you the foil fever.
So cool.
Comic fam, let's take a look at number 9 on the list because we have a comic book I wasn't really familiar with, but the cover is so dope, and I'm hoping that this is going to happen.
Beauty number 1, coming in at number 9 this week. Now, we have confirmation that this is in development over at Netflix, and this is one of those books that was really a sleeper for quite some time. Not a lot of people knew about this. Not a lot of people were thinking about this. It is actually about a sexually transmitted disease that people want to contract. They want to share back and forth, and there's a couple detectives that find out how absolutely deadly and destructive this disease is.
Yeah, this is a disease that has a lot of positive effects. Youthfulness makes you look better, and that's why people want it. But it causes combustion, like internal combustion. People are exploding. It's really bad. Spontaneous combustion, woe is me.
Well, this book has spontaneously combusted. 1,450% increase in sales this week. We are seeing raws go for as high as $10. There is also a fantastic Jenny Frizen variant of this, and we saw a graded go for right around $100.
Pardon me while I remind everybody about our epic Maestro number 1 variant done by the talented cover artist Valerio Giangiordano.
The world of Future Imperfect starts now. This is going to bring in the long-awaited origin of Maestro, which is why we're so excited about the variant this month. MODOK showing up. We are going to have so many more fantastic things happening in the Marvel Universe. You do not want to miss this event.
I got chills, man, when I saw the nuclear bomb in the teaser. I'm freaking out right now. Comic fam, link in the description to join the community, your support in the show, and then we also send you comics every single month. Russ, let's tell them about number 8 on this list.
Number 8 on the list, we are seeing Batman number 28.
We have Harper Row taking on the mantle of Bluebird in this issue because James Tynion is doing some more teasing on his newsletter. And this is some speculation that you can keep up on from your home yourself.
More proof that there are multiple sources of ways to get speculation information. If you go to James Tynion's website, you can actually sign up for his newsletter, which is called The Empire of the Tiny Onion. And that's where you can get information like this.
This is what we're following. This is what Key Collector Comics is following. And this is how you know how we come to these conclusions and why we bring them to the mic for you every single week. So we're chatting about a book that right now is hitting $8 average sales. And we saw a high at 9.8 hit $60.
1,900% increase on news from James Tynion that he will be utilizing Bluebird as a character in the new run. So keep in mind that Harper Row's original appearance was in Batman number 7 from the New 52 run. And traditionally, you have Robin, who is Batman's sidekick. Well, they decided to go in a different direction and have Harper Row become Bluebird, become Batman's sidekick.
That's right. I'd keep an eye out on that issue 7. We're seeing this happen with a lot of characters when there is that first appearance in cameo / the actual identity of the person taking on the mantle of said superhero. It's affordable, especially the fact that Bluebird, as her first appearance in costume, is only going for $8 on average.
Number 7 on the list. This is a book we talked about last year. Miles Morales number 6, which is the first appearance of Starling, who's the granddaughter of Vulture. Now, this one caused a bit of a buzz when it first came out because it was a new character, and then it died down for a while. We hadn't really heard anything about this. Well, if you pay attention to Marvel's YouTube page, they kind of do a previews video every month or so, and one of the little snippets is about a new title called Champions. There's an interior spread where you get to see Starling hanging out with the team. Whether she's in the team, we don't know, but she's absolutely showing up.
Now we see her in panel here, and it's pushing the speculation of this book up over 370% increase in copies sold in 7 days. We're seeing a $10 average sale on this book, but a high sale at 9.8 of $120. Clearly the community thinks that since they're utilizing her, maybe she's going to become a member of the team. Are we going to see Marvel further develop this character and see her as a more reoccurring role? Well, we have yet to find out.
Another interesting thing about the high sales is in the last week, there have been quite a few high sales of a 9.8 in the $60 to $75 range, but those have all been buy it nows that are apparently people who just listed them a little bit lower than the market right now. So you might get a good deal if you go hunting.
Especially after you find out that this issue had a low print count of approximately 33,000 that was ordered by retailers.
Which is relatively low for a character like Miles Morales.
Number 6 on this list. How bizarre is it to see this book here?
Look, Russ, yes, bizarre.
Number 6 on this list is Superman Batman issue number 22 featuring Batman Beyond in 2005. And this is on here because of a social media debate that honestly I thought was resolved a pretty long time ago.
Regardless of your opinion, 145% increase in copies sold, $20 for a raw, and we're seeing a 9.4 CGC go for $50, although I'm pretty certain that in the next month or two, we're going to see a lot of 9.8s come out of the woodwork.
We're going to be getting into this on the podcast because it's a bit bigger of a conversation, but this is basically what's going on. We have Batman Beyond as a superhero. Sure. Who's played Batman Beyond? There's been a handful of people. Bruce Wayne was Batman Beyond. Tim Drake was Batman Beyond. Terry McGinnis, which is the most important version of Batman Beyond, was Batman Beyond. Now, this book here, Superman Batman 22, features Batman Beyond. But in panel, you see that the name given to this character that's only featured very briefly, his name was Tim. Now, seeing the word Tim there has made most collectors, Batman Beyond enthusiasts, and people who collect DC books pretty much ignore this issue of the run because the Batman Beyond that people spec on is Terry McGinnis. But it wasn't rediscovered until recently with individuals claiming that this was actually a mistake, that DC actually went on record at some point that we can't verify saying that the word Tim was actually meant to be Terry. Did Jeff Loeb make a mistake?
The really interesting thing is there was an action figure line that was released that was based off of Ed McGuinness's character design, and they have a Batman Beyond whose name is Tim Drake. So it seems very unlikely that they would have tried to call him Terry in the comic book and not fixed that for the action figures that were released to stores.
Whether they did it intentionally or they just rolled with that mistake. Issue 23, the next comic in this kind of like two-part Batman Beyond appearance of Tim Drake as Batman Beyond, marks his first full appearance, and that's seeing an increase in copies sold in the last week of over 900%. And you gotta check it out on Key Collector Comics top 20 trending comics list that this top 10 was sourced from. And if you use code TOM101, you do get a free week subscription and you help support the show.
Number 5 this week, we are seeing a book that is scorching hot that was released just this week. We have Strange Academy, number 1, second print, the Humberto Ramos variant. Now, last week we were talking about Strange Academy, number 1, the first print, and it has been a few months between these printings. $15 is average sale, $29 for the high sale on this book, and I get it. A lot of people are chasing second and third prints because the print runs are generally lower. This book is still available from Diamond Comics. I went on the website, I checked it out. There's a green dot next to it, which means it is still available for order by shops. Now, by the time you watch this video, it may be sold out, but it is not an instant sellout like a lot of the other books, and I don't believe that this $25, $30 price is going to hold. I think these are going to come crashing down, especially as more shops realize that they're available.
Comic fam, hit the like button for that information. That just got to me minutes before we hit the table because Russ is an awesome LCS owner looking out for his peeps. Let's take a look at number 4 on this list because we got Boom Studios goodness, courtesy of Roz Ritchie. We got Empty Man issue number 1. We were specking on this last year. We knew that this was coming. It looks like it was coming a bit sooner than we thought, but because of pandemic, because of this Empty Man disease maybe, well, it's going to be coming in December.
Now that we have confirmation that it's coming out on December 20th, this book has moved 1,000% more than last week. $12 raws and $50 for CGC 9.8.
Empty Man is not a person. It's a disease, and it is gruesome. This isn't like zombie stuff. This is just grotesque, like people going into catatonic states, suicidal dementia kind of stuff. It is dark, but I gotta say, it is eerie. As soon as like pandemic started, I gotta be honest, I watched Contagion, like I watched Train to Busan, like I'm all about horror movies, and I'm gonna be watching this.
I know you like your horror, Tom, but Donny Cates came out this week and started talking about how horrific and dark his Venom run is getting. And you know what? Number 3 on the list, Venom 26. First full appearance of Virus. Now, this is a really interesting one because Donnie and Stegman had actually been talking about how the first appearance was going to be in the Free Comic Book Day Spider-Man Venom book, but because of release dates kind of getting swapped a little bit, Venom 26 is the actual one. $12 average sale and $100 for a CGC 9.8 on this book.
Sir Cates and Ryan are going on a creative spree, man. A lot of new characters to consider. We got a lot of variants to consider too.
Now, you don't have to take our word for it, but you should check on your Key Collector app, and in Venom 26, there's a little variants button. Click on that, and it'll show you all the other variants that are popping this week.
Number 2 on this list, super stoked that we're talking about John Constantine so much, and it could be because of wishful thinking. You know, we know HBO Max. We know that we got Bad Robot involved with JLA Dark, and maybe we're going to see some Zatanna action, but it also is the weekend of the 15th anniversary of John Constantine, the Shia LaBeouf movie. I don't know why I said his name like that, but I liked it. All right, we're putting Crisis on Infinite Earths issue number 4 right on this list because we have the second appearance of Constantine to talk about.
Now, we have talked about his first full appearance before, so people are starting to look for other affordable appearances. So that's why this book this week, Crisis on Infinite Earths number 4, coming in at number 2, John Constantine's second full appearance.
$12 average sales, $100 high at 9.8. 2 months ago, signed George Perez, 9.8, going for $100. All right, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of how this particular book has moved because a lot of people don't know about it. But we're seeing an increase in percentage of copies sold in over 1,700% in 7 days. Let's go through the appearances of Constantine because issue 37, his first full appearance, is hitting over $1,000 at 9.8. And as you said, there's other ones to consider. We love recommending those second appearances because they go missed clearly. But how far can we date back this Sting lookalike?
So if you're looking for his first appearance in comic books, you're going to be looking at Swamp Thing number 25, which actually came out in May 1984.
Now, although he's in this comic, whether it was intended or retconned, we do see just a panel with no word bubbles. Soon after, we would see a DC sampler come out, a free sampler. So it's not in continuity, but we do see John Constantine in panel.
So DC Sampler number 3 came out in September of 1984, and that was kind of giving us an idea of where Alan Moore was going to be taking his Swamp Thing run. John Constantine didn't come to fruition until, as we know, number 37 in June of 1985.
That sampler was free. He doesn't say anything, so it's likely not one to spec on, but would be really cool if you're a fan of John Constantine and collecting those early appearances. From 37, we have his next appearance in 38 within continuity, but Crisis on Infinite Earths goes right in between those issues because they came out roughly around the same time, but it hit the stands first.
So July 1985 is when Crisis came out, as well as Swamp Thing number 38. And this book is supremely undervalued, especially considering how great a read the Crisis on Infinite Earths run is.
Comic fam, before we hit to number 1 on this list, if you're not currently a subscriber, I'm going to give you just a quick second to hit that button. We want to be nice. We want to give them some time to act and do a call to action is what they call that in the world of marketing.
Well, and while they're hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell, they should also consider commenting down below for an opportunity to win this Eric Powell sketched and signed copy of Big Man Plans number 1.
Yeah, it's an original sketch. You can win it. And you could also be like Miguel Montes, who is the winner of this right here, signed, and a little sketch right there done by Ms. Dawn Mateague.
What an incredible book. I think that's enough time for them, Tom.
You think
Let's
it's
go
enough
to
time?
number 1.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
You think they're about time to chat about a virus?
A virus. Again, so many infections and viruses. I mean, I'm feeling a little hot under the collar.
Are you getting down with the sickness?
Very much down
Okay,
with the sickness
let's
right
do it, man, because we got Virus, issue 25.
Tom, you have clearly been infected because it is Venom 25 and not Virus 25.
True. The second print.
Right.
Now, this isn't just a cameo of Virus being featured on a comic book cover for the first time. We also have what we believe to be a Celestial on the top. I digress. On the cover, we have a new character. Is the character null? Ryan Stegman said it's not. What's the character's name?
The character's name is Codex, which is not confusing at all whatsoever, considering everything that just happened in Absolute Carnage.
We don't know anything about this character. We don't even know who this person is. What we do know is his mask is supposed to go up to his hairline.
It's so amazing, the information we get on Twitter.
Hey, Russ, what was Cletus Cassidy, Carnage, collecting all last year?
He was collecting Codex from all of the people that had been infected by the symbiotes.
That's not confusing.
Not at all.
Comic fam, this book is going for $20 average sales, 125 at 9.8.
If there's one thing for sure, you can never underestimate the power of Sir Cates.
Dude, people are specking hard on this run. The King in Black is coming in December. We're probably going to be talking about that from now until December, and I'm down to do it. As long as the comic fam joins us, comment, like, and subscribe, and as always,
Geek responsibly.
enough said. Comic fam, we're doing 50% off of scoutcomics.com. And it's because they're homies, and it's like San Diego Comic-Con. They want to give back to the community. I don't get anything from you using the code Tom101, but you get 50% off, and you can check out titles like, some of my favorites, Loggerhead, The Mall, White Ash, Stabbity Bunny, Got Ghost, the list goes on. Go and treat yourself. You got from now, that's today, until the 5th of next month. That's right, that's 2 weekends. So go shopping, go buy some comics. Support independent comic books, and geek responsibly.